You are listening to Seek Purpose, the podcast, where guests share how they have survived their pain, explored their passions, and found their purpose.
We are the platform that gives a voice to journeys of recovery and the opportunity to get inspired by those who have overcome their hurts, habits, and hang-ups.
You've found your pathway to recovery. Now it's time to find your pathway to purpose.
Subscribe to this show, join our online community, and become a purpose seeker today.
What we're doing in recovery and why we're all doing this today, whether or not you're sober, you're staying sober and supporting the people that you love that are fighting for their lives in recovery. And that is what we're doing here today. And yes, it is a blast and life gets so much better. And even the little things become fun, like just washing your dishes sometimes can be more joyful than any night out at the club. But we do need to remember that this is a disease that we are fighting and we're fighting for our lives. And so we definitely wanted to honor that.
If you are needing help and support, please reach out. We definitely have lots of supports. If you go to our site and resources, that is really, really important to us. And also, if you are out there and you're wanting to support, there is a ton of things you can do outside of coming out loud in your recovery. And posting is, some people like to just give on a financial basis and support some amazing nonprofits, charities, and we have that. Actually, the Sober Curator Elise has an incredible pay it forward link. If you go to Just for 24, you can definitely check those out and pick something that is your liking. And we hope that you are able to give and help support the community to continue to carry the message and save lives. So thanks so much for that.
Amazing. All right. We got Mike, we got Nick and Sheena and Travis. Mike, you got Jen with you there?
Hey, no, hello, first of all. No, she's actually not feeling well today.
Okay.
So it's myself.
No worries.
Look at this group.
I know. What is this?
Hey, guys.
What's up, guys?
It's like TikTok just came to life.
And that beard, Travis. Mm.
Oh, are you muted there? I can't hear you.
It's amazing. Thank you.
Yes.
Everybody can grow them, right, Mike?
Yeah.
That's some 24 hours of growing that, hey?
This morning.
Yeah.
That's what they do in Maine. They just grow beards, right, Trav?
Speaking of hair, Mike, you just lost some, didn't you?
We're gonna start with that, are we?
Oh yeah, we're gonna start with that. Okay. Did you guys not hear? Okay, what Mike did? He this is what I'm talking about, the recovery community. Okay, there just will go to any length to be able to help other people. And Recovery Army Outreach Inc. needed to raise some funds. So Jen is like, "Hey, Mike, why don't we shave your balls?" And
no, that would have been easy. Shaving.
That's a wax.
I guess it's wax. That's right. You're right. I'm sorry. I stand corrected. Yeah, so we got a wax down there. Brazilian, as the girls like to call it, is a Brazilian. But for those of you, basically that's what it means. So.
Are you feeling Spanish, Mike?
Yeah, I'm going to call it the Brazilian.
The Brazilian. All right.
Yeah. So, yeah, we
With the paint in the butt.
Front to back. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So well, since we're on the stomachs, why don't we start there? Like, was it painful? Right. Was it worse than you thought? Like, tell us.
All right. So I'll relive it for a minute, I guess. So, so we had a fundraiser. We had a fundraiser go out. We typically do a monthly fundraiser for our nonprofit Recovery Army Outreach. And we take those funds and take them down and provide essential necessities for homeless and try to plant some seeds and get people off the streets and into treatment and things like that. And so in a nutshell, no pun intended, we started a fundraiser and
I warned everybody.
Yeah. Hey, so we started a fundraiser. And so it was earlier this week. We were still only about halfway there. I really didn't think we were going to hit it. So we were on live on TikTok one night and, we were trying to encourage people to help us hit our goal. And Jen came up with the brilliant idea to say, if we hit it, why don't you get wax, you get a Brazilian. I'm like, all right, if we hit it by Friday, I'll do it. I'm not thinking we were actually going to hit it. So needless to say, we surpassed our goal. Because there was a lot of sadistic people that wanted to see me in pain because I agreed to do it live also, which I did. So it was done yesterday. I called and set the appointment and I showed up and some other things came off. So yeah, it was, wasn't as painful as I thought it would be. But look, man, the curtains match the drapes, so we're good. We'll do anything. Like, and I did it really honestly and agreed to it because I'll go to any length. When I was out there, I'd go to any length to do what I had to do. So at this point in my life, I'm fortunate enough to be in a position I am with a nonprofit to go to any length to help someone else. And if it's temporary pain for me for a few minutes, in hopes that I can just stop the pain of addiction for one person out there, especially on the streets of Kensington, Philadelphia, I'll do it. So mission accomplished. Jen is next month. I'm going to think of something for her for a fundraiser.
Make her have a Brazilian, for God's sake.
No, that's too easy.
Make her grow it all out.
Yes,
Let her grow
still not.
everything out. It's everything. Let
Just
her
because
grow
you
it
don't have balls does not mean a Brazilian doesn't hurt. I'll tell you that.
And I actually heard Sheena. I saw Sheena. Hi, Sheena. Nice to see you guys again. Sheena and Nick, I heard her go, honey, will you do that for us? For We Are Warriors?
Nope.
No, it's not.
Just to be clear, it's already smooth down there.
I think Mike took it for the team. So thank you, Mike.
I mean, there wasn't much to
He
deal with anyway.
He took it for the league.
He took it for the league.
Yeah, everybody's team. Yeah.
I hear it's the new cool thing to do, though. So I might,
It's not that cool.
It's
No?
not that cool. There's got to be kind of a breeze to it, a little cool
If
breeze.
it's not that cool, can I stop getting it done?
No.
Nah.
Yeah. That's super not cool. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's bother you now. It's gonna bother you when you start to get a 5 o'clock shadow down.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh.
I'm going to be honest too. There's a chance I may go back. I'm not going to lie. I mean, it's true.
Well, then the rewards lesson too. So we got to be.
Yeah,
I'll say this, I got a phone call from Mike and it sounded more like pleasure than pain.
Did you yell Kelly Clarkson?
I did. Yes.
Did you?
So there will be some videos to follow, but I did use the Kelly Clarkson from the 40-year-old version at one point. Yes.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna have to send us that so we can share it on Just for 24.
I definitely
That's
will.
amazing.
Definitely want it. Travis, you need to talk about Climb for Recovery because you guys have done some crazy stuff too. I know you are blowing up TikTok in such a fun, positive way. I mean, you were showing your darn package, your blue package on the other day on TikTok. Like, what the hell was all that about? So take us away.
Yeah, I call that clickbait. Like I like to have fun. Like I don't, like Climb for Recovery is basically 80% shenanigans, 20% hiking. I definitely don't do Brazilian waxes to raise funds. Like we hike mountains and we try to put guys on mountains and we'll spend days up there. We'll rent cabins and just that camaraderie of people. There's nothing more fulfilling when you're hiking a mountain and you're just starting and everyone's like so pumped up and they're ready to go. And then about 3 hours in it, everybody's dying. Nobody's talking. Everyone's angry at each other. And like, that's that point where you kind of push through everything and then just keep climbing. A lot like addiction, when we're like, okay, I'm going to get clean. We have this, like, I'm going to do it, and then we hit those walls where we feel like, oh my God, like, I can't do this. You hear those voices. I can't do this. What's the point? I'm never going to make it. And then when you complete something like that and you complete it with a group of men, group of women, and you reach that summit of that mountain, it is by far one of the greatest feelings and one of the biggest outlets that I've found in my recovery is because once you reach the summit, it doesn't stop there. You got to find a bigger mountain. And no matter what that is, whether it's going in life or an actual mountain or pushing forward. But yeah, Climb for Recovery, we started it about 4 years ago. We've given back over $40,000 back to our community. We had our second annual Christmas fundraiser. And I think over the past 2 years, we've helped almost 100 kids who lost a parent to addiction. Their parents are in jail. They're being raised by grandparents. But yeah, it's definitely all shenanigans though. First, we like to laugh. We like to have fun. And we do have an event that we sponsored coming up on May 15th in Norwalk, Connecticut. We're going to have Kalichi, Joe Nestor, B Rain, Rem One, Casey Makes Music. And it's going to be an awesome, awesome event. And it's going to be a sober concert. Nothing is better than a sober concert. I'm telling you. It's amazing.
Oh my gosh.
The bubbles out for that one. That's insane. Party time.
Yeah, we absolutely love what you're doing. Watching you do the Christmas campaign as well. Like, it's just so heartwarming to know that there's people out here, like, once you get sober, that it doesn't stop there. Like, giving back is really a part of the journey, and I just love what all of you are doing. I'd love to hear more about We Are Warriors, and then let's talk about your new podcast, The Stigma Ends Here, as well. So We Are Warriors. Part of Just for 24, what we're doing is we really want to have people tie their live shows, their events, whatever they're going to host in the future, Just for 24 events, to nonprofits and things that are giving back to the recovery community. And We Are Warriors is one of those things in Canada here. We'd love to hear what you guys are up to and what you're doing.
Well, We Are Warriors has taken a turn for the best. We started off just being a magazine to see what would happen. And then eventually it just grew to a point that now we're actually a company. So a lot of the profits that come in, we are putting into the We Are Warriors Recovery Fund, where we try to help out first responders that need that rehabilitation to go to rehab and they just don't have the funds to do it. And plus, we all know going to rehab is like a 6 to 8 week periods, but here in Canada, sometimes it's 16 weeks to wait just to get into a rehab if you're a first responder to get to those the right places.
It's also something that's not covered here.
Yeah.
It's really a big fight to actually get in. When we went through that, it was extremely difficult. It was actually like knocking on doors, like research, and there was no one that could help us or point us in the right direction. So we're trying to be that guide almost, or just help.
Yeah, it's been fun. Honestly, I gave up my career, retired as a paramedic in December. And it was one of those things where I'm like, okay, what do I do now? Like, what do I do with my life? I want to help people. I've always been in the recovery world for at least 6 years now. But I needed to do something different. And I feel like we started this magazine just to see what would happen. And I think within 8 months, we had over 10,000 subscribers. It was just like, boom, there it was. And I was like, okay, well, this is needed. People want to hear recovery stories. They want to hear positivity. They want to hear that they're not alone. And we just went with it. And now we're at a point where we're getting a lot of bigger celebrities coming in the next couple of months, which we're not allowed to talk about yet. But it's so much fun. And now we're happy and excited about the future. We have beautiful Mike Gleam over there with nice clean balls. That's part of our team.
Yep.
You know, we were talking earlier before we brought you guys on of what's happened since the pandemic and reaching out and having virtual friendships. And I think it's really important, a lot of people may not know, is you guys are really tight and have worked together and have established this unbelievable bond between the four of you. I know Jen's not here, and it's all been virtual. Is that,
yeah.
Talk about that.
Yeah.
I've never actually met Mike in person, but I can honestly say that he's my brother.
They talk a lot.
That's my brother, man. I'm serious. We're cut from the same cloth, and a lot of similarities, and just there for one another. It's truly family. Both Sheena and Nick, 100%.
Yeah, like I had my bad days, and Sheena would contact Mike and say, Mike, you need to talk to Nick. He's having a bad day. And then I got Mike on the phone saying, dude, pick up your phone. I know you're struggling. Pick up your phone. And it's like, it's this guy that you've never met before, but yet you're so close that you're like, okay, this guy's going to pull me through this. And he has. And it's amazing. And I love the guy. I love Jen. And you know, it's a family. We're all family when it comes to recovery.
It's also something like for me, being on the outside, like I could try my hardest to pull him out of a bad day, but I'm the first person that he's also going to tell to go away, right? I'm right here. So it's like, I don't want to deal with you right now. So having that outside person come in, there's not a whole lot of people that you can run to and be like, hey, I need help right now. And I've been able to do that with Mike and Jen, or I'll message Jen. I'm like, I'm struggling right now. And she's always been there to help. So it is a really nice relationship. We're grateful.
Yeah. But I'm not touching my nuts. Sorry.
They're already smooth. I don't understand.
So I have to ask Mike a question though quickly.
Go for it.
Do you mind?
I don't know, but no, sure, why not?
When it was done, were you like, everything's bigger?
Well, that's the thing. They're like, there wasn't much to deal with to begin with.
Jen sure was.
Listen, Jen had angles she's never seen. She was at the bottom of the bed and just like, oh, I've never seen that way. Okay. You know, and the different positions I had to go in. Yeah, it was.
Okay.
Well, I had to let it grow so it was long enough to be able to pull out. So. And
talking to the girl that does me, and she laughs when she does a guy. She's like, "You should see how far they get stretched." So literally,
there was a lot of
because you have to pull it tight.
There was a lot of pulling and tugging and ripping for sure.
And Travis wasn't there? You mean Travis wasn't there?
I offered to do it myself, but I was going to do it with a nice cayenne pepper wax.
Yeah.
But the worst part was the very end, you know, the last part. And then when I had to roll over that was awkward. So yeah.
It's winking at me.
Did you see that?
Yeah, Jen was just waiting for a wink.
That's so funny. Travis, tell us about the Stigma Ends Here podcast and what you guys got going on there.
Yeah, so I usually take the majority of the head lead of making sure everything. What?
That's awesome.
Oh yeah, you're right. 100%.
Yeah, so Mike and I, again, you know, Mike's just a real easy guy. You know, when you see and you hear Mike's story and you see what he's doing, you know, with giving back to the community, you know, that's something that we try to do, you know, and Mike says this more often than not, like, show me who your friends are and I'll show you where you're headed, you know, and so I try to surround myself with people like that. Like, those are the people that I want to have direct contact with me. And Mike, you know, we had a lot of people that enjoyed our banter back and forth. Like, I would come into his lives and we would just banter back and forth. And we had this idea, like, okay, let's come up with a podcast. And, you know, as being people of action, like, Mike was just right on it. You know, Mike will tell you, I am like herding a god darn cat. Like, I am the most difficult person to try to get to do anything. Like, I have handlers that make sure that I am where I need to be, or I fly into the correct airport, because I most likely probably have at least 13 personalities and they all just like to argue with each other. But Mike, you know, Mike, he reminds me, he gets on me, he's like, hey, we need to do this, you need to put out a promotion thing, you need to do this. And it's because, you know, I am a dad. Mike will tell you, I work like a lot. I work 65, 70 hours a week. I absolutely love my job while being a father, while still trying to maintain Climb for Recovery and everything else like that. But the podcast, it has been a lot of fun. And I find it therapeutic for myself to sit there and have fun. We've had some amazing guests on. We've had Casey Makes Music, B-Rain, Rem One. We had Mr. Gratitude. We had APT TV. We have Kalichi coming on here shortly. We have Joe Nestor coming on shortly. And it's just a lot of fun because I don't want it to be that typical. Well, we don't want it to be that typical, just, hey, spill your story. Because at the end of the day, like, our wreckage is wreckage. Just yours looks different than mine, but wreckage is wreckage. Like, let's hear about the fun things. Okay. Let's hear about the things that you may be struggling, or the things that you do when you find yourself struggling, and try to touch on those points, because those are almost like the gray area, because we're so most auto programmed to, like, okay, let's just hear the story. Well, okay, well, the wreckage is the wreckage. Like, tell me, you know, we want to hear why you got here and how you got here, but let's talk about what keeps you here, you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah. Speaking of wrangling a goat, we're still waiting for your Just for 24 video there, Travis.
Right.
I gotta do everything.
I'm just gonna say, Brooke, I technically have till midnight.
It's true.
Yeah, and when you said chicken is an understatement. I think more like trying to wrangle like a wild boar or something. That's more like.
Man. That's amazing. We would love to get to a giveaway before we let you guys go here. So Recovery to Where is your company there, Mike, that helps support your nonprofit. Is that correct? Do you want to talk a little bit about that? And then we'll get the giveaway started. Basically, we have pre-picked a number, and the first person to put that number into the comments is going to win this prize. So start putting it in there. They don't know the number. Only we know the number, me and Suzanne. And yeah, so start commenting numbers, and we're going to pick a winner to get this prize. And we're going to get you connected with Mike so that they can send you off a shirt. So talk about your recovery to wear.
And only one per person, please. Sorry, just one. Not everybody.
So just a brief description. So early 20, I've always wanted to start a clothing line. I didn't really know what to gear it towards or what exactly to do. So early 2020, I was out on back surgery before quarantine hit. So I was out on short-term disability. I worked at an inpatient program. I spent like the next 6 to 8 weeks on my back. I got out for a day, then quarantine hit, and I'm back on my back again, in the house, stuck in the house. And I just literally set a goal list of everything I want to accomplish in 2020. Thank God I've surpassed every one this past year, and it just keeps getting better. But that was one of them. And that's actually where I started. And I did it. And I just started making designs and uploading things. It had a slow start, and then it built a lot of traction. And so then finally, late 2020, out of nowhere, which I didn't plan at all, was to start a nonprofit. That was not part of the plan, but God had different plans for me. So we did it. And so now we're able to use the funds that we get from Recovery to Wear and put them right into the nonprofit to help fund what we do, because we're not getting paid. We're not making any money by doing this. So, the resources have to come from somewhere. So fortunately, I'm able to tie the two together. And so it's all recovery-based stuff, faith-based things, just encouraging motivational type things. So yeah, that's what's recovery2wear.com with the number 2, recovery2wear.com. And so I'm willing. We do giveaways, pretty often. So I'm more than willing for this cause. Absolutely 100% willing to give away any shirt that anybody wants on the website. Just if you do pick the right number, just get them in contact with me. Tell me your size, the design you like, the color you like, your address, and I get it out to you as soon as possible.
Awesome.
Thank you everybody that already supported both of them, the outreach and also the line as well. So thank you.
Amazing. And you got a lot of recovery creators that are also involved in this movement. I just love what you guys are doing. You guys have the biggest hearts. And if people want to get in touch with Climb for Recovery, We Are Warriors, or Recovery Army Outreach, and get supporting you guys, what can they do?
I'll go first. You can either go to Instagram, Climb for Recovery. You can go to TikTok, Climb for Recovery, C4R62, and it's that way because my 13-year-old daughter jacked the original Climb for Recovery name, and she's holding it hostage and will not give it back to me. And you can find me on Facebook. Yeah, that's it. You can find Mike at his OnlyFans page.
Where he gets waxed.
It's here. Climb for Recovery. Just Google us. We're all over it.
And actually, next year, we said this we said this already, that we want to climb. You can't cross the border, unfortunately. So part of our stories can't allow us to cross the border, but Climb for Recovery can. So we want to get a group up here to do Climb for Recovery just for 24 next year. There's so many amazing things up here in BC, across, in Canada, even that flatland Saskatchewan, I'm sure can find some place. Some do you have hills? Sorry.
There's no hills or water.
I know, I've been there.
You see your dog run away for 4 days.
Yeah, that's not a joke. Real.
Anyway.
Oh man, so we're gonna need to get a social media person that can help us with this. Comments are coming in so fast and I can't even read them all without opening it.
I've actually, we didn't get somebody picking the number, but somebody close. Should we do that?
Yeah, let's do the closest number.
Okay, I have the closest number. And just so you guys know, on our little sheets here, we write down who the prize and what the number is. So it was not like we just picking because, that's a cool comment. We picked number 1. And the number 1 is, as you can probably see from me scrolling, is Nicola. Oh my gosh, Nicola Grace Fraser. You won. She is one of your guys's, she's TikTok fan of all of you guys. So Nicola, she's probably jumping up and down right now. Actually, if you guys don't know Nicola, she's the one that showed up when Tom McDonald didn't show up on our show. She was our first guest. So
Yeah, that was really cool. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us here. This has just been a blast, and we love what you're doing. Sorry, did everyone get a chance to talk about how people can come and find you? Because I really want to make sure that anyone that's watching can come and get connected with you guys.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, you go for We Are Warriors, just go to Facebook. The tag is at We Are Warriors Magazine. Just all the words, no abbreviations. And same with Instagram and TikTok. And yeah, that's pretty much it. And you go to www.
There's 3 W's.
www.wawmagazine.ca, and you can get a subscription to our magazine for free and read all the recovery stories. And Mike writes in there every once in a while too, and he wrote an amazing poem, the Lost edition, so please check it out.
Yeah, definitely subscribe to the magazine for sure. And I just gotta say real quick, that last one that I was able to get in the magazine, I'm no poet, man, and I actually got, it was more than a writing for me. It was something I was dealing with personally as I wrote that. So that meant a lot to me to be able to get that out there and get that published. It was really cool. But I guess myself, recoveryarmyoutreach.com is our website for the nonprofit. Recovery2wear with the number 2 for the clothing. The Stigma ends here. We are live on YouTube and Facebook as well. We go live on Thursday nights, and you can also find us on all podcast platforms, also Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, everything like that. Recovery Mike on TikTok. Give me a follow if you go there. Mike Gleam, Speak Life is Instagram, and all these pages have Instagrams also, and Facebook's Recovery to Wear and Recovery Army Outreach. So find us all over.
And we got you some gifts too, so use the Recovery Army gifts. They're so cool. I love it. Thank you guys so much for hanging out here with us. I'm going to let y'all go, and we're going to take a 2-minute break while we get our next guests loaded up and ready to go. All right.
Bye, beautiful people.
Love you guys.
Cheers.